Modern romance is often defined by this moment, two people snapping together with an intensity that leaves them both breathless. For someone with an avoidant attachment style, intensity follows a different path. High emotional energy routes directly to a threat detected response. As a partner pushes for closer intimacy, defensive rings multiply, constructing a fortress instead. Avoidant individuals possess a high sensitivity to pressure. While they experience attraction, any connection tied to an emotional obligation triggers their need to withdraw. To reach them, you have to bypass the standard seduction playbook. Connection grows when you speak the counterintuitive language of psychological safety. Most of us interpret space in a relationship as a sign of rejection. We panic, rushing in to fill the gap and fix a problem that hasn't actually happened yet. From an avoidant perspective, space is a tool for survival. They use distance to regulate their nervous system and prevent the feeling of being emotionally consumed by another person. This room illustrates the principle of comfortable distance. The chairs are far apart, yet the environment feels warm and inviting. Providing this kind of intentional silence removes the feeling of being trapped, which is the avoidant's greatest fear. When you maintain a textured, independent life, you signal that the relationship is a choice, not a responsibility. You aren't leaning on them to provide your sense of purpose. Respecting this boundary creates a rare sense of relief. When distance no longer results in guilt or drama, the avoidant's curiosity begins to outweigh their need for protection, naturally drawing them back to a space that feels safe. Avoidants are hypersensitive to emotional shifts. When a partner's mood spikes or voices are raised, it activates an immediate flight response. A calm, steady demeanor acts as an external regulator. When you remain grounded, their own nervous system begins to mimic your stability. This diagram shows a chaotic frequency settling into a continuous line. For an avoidant, predictability is a safe harbor. It removes the stress of anticipating an emotional storm. Lust is a fleeting burn, but contained, intentional emotion builds a durable foundation. By removing the cycle of dramatic highs and lows, you create a sense of mystery. They begin to wonder what lies beneath your calm, and that curiosity sustains a connection far longer than raw passion. The avoidant mind is constantly scanning for power dynamics. Their ultimate fear is being made responsible for another person's happiness or emotional stability. Interlocking shapes represent codependency, while two separate circles represent emotional self-sufficiency. Presenting yourself as a complete person removes the burden of obligation. Sharing your internal truth without requiring validation allows honesty without creating a debt they must pay back. The less you look to them for reassurance, the more they trust the connection. Your autonomy makes it safe for them to lean in because they know you aren't trying to trap them. This creates a rare dynamic, closeness without cost. By remaining sovereign, you offer the connection they want without the suffocating pressure they usually expect. Connecting with an avoidant isn't about using a specific tactic. It requires you to shift your own internal state until your presence no longer feels like a demand. Emotional sovereignty describes a state of being self-contained and neutral. You remain firm in your own worth, regardless of whether your partner moves closer or further away. When you release the need to be chosen or understood, something shifts. The avoidant partner finally feels safe enough to explore the connection on their own terms. High-intensity desire provides a momentary spark, but an environment of safety and respect for autonomy fosters something far more durable, a quiet, persistent fascination. Enduring bonds aren't built on the blinding heat of a chase. They form through steady, quiet presence that survives long after initial intensity fades.